ตัสสะมหาภิวัตมันจะฉันสิทธิธรรมกันตาสังสรณีนิสติอายะนิสติสัมมัญญาภละเอกานิพพานะคอยกิปาปัญญาโดยเฉพาะในประวัติการนิทาน
สาธุสาธุสาธุนาวุติอุปาณิธิปันนะอนุโมทนามิ
Today is Chinese New Year. Do you know?
So the class today is about New Year. Last time we showed this, we discussed about this slide. One moment. Is January the 1st really the new year, or really today the new year for Buddhism? Okay. Before we begin the class, I would like to mention about the important notes that Dhamma provided in this presentation is simple and not complex or profound. People must continuously study Dhamma, or else it will lead to Mahatapa, Nirya, or hell, because it is Miccha Titti, not following the Buddha's teaching. If any provided content contrast with Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka, please refer to Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka only. And the responsibility of the four Puttha Parisa consisting of 3 roles. The first one is the four Puttha Parisa must well understand the Tipitaka 84,000 Dhammakantaka. The second one, the four Puttha Parisa must be able to correctly present 84,000 Dhammakantaka. And the third one is the four Puttha Parisa must be able to correct those who condemn or misunderstand the Tipitaka 84,000 Dhammakantaka. Okay.
So let's stick to our Dhammacariya Suchanang on and our Angka Kuna Ariya Dhamma Sotapanna Visati Ariya Makha Visati Samanya Para Eka Nibbana Khippa Pinya โดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เทินสาธุสาธุสาธุนาวุติอุปนิธิพันธะอนุโมทามิ
Before we enter the topic of today, do you remember how many types of Samma Sampoti? Pian Kap, will we answer these questions? How many types of Anuttara Samma Sampoti?
Ben, can you answer the question? How many types of Samma Sampoti?
3
it's Buddha, right? Thank you ค่ะป้าเปิ้ล 3
Yes.
Okay.
3. And what are they?
Give us the details of that. น้องเบน
ชาติกะมี40อสังขายะแล้วก็
อินดี้
100,000 มหากัปปะ
100 เหรอ
100,000
100,000 ถูกแล้วครับพี่
แสนเนี่ย
ก็100,000,000 มหากัปปะ
ถูกแล้ว
แล้วก็วิริยะมี80อสังขายะแล้วก็มี100,000,000 มหากัปปะ
100,000 โอ้ใช่โอเค Okay, the separate of the type is come from the times that Samma Samputtha have สะสมบารมีเนาะ gathered บารมี yeah.
Yes. Sadhu Krab. There are 3 types of Samma Sampoti. The first is Panyatika, the second one is Satthatika, and the last one is Viriyatika. And the difference between these types of Samma Sampoti simply classified by the time to perform malicious act. For Panyatika, need 20 asankhaya and 100,000 mahakappa. For Sattadika, need 40 asankhaya and 100,000 mahakappa. And the last one, Virayatika, need 80 asankhaya and 100,000 mahakappa. And for each asankhaya, comparing to the time frame that we know, for one asankhaya is, imagine the mountain cross section of 16 kilometers times 16 kilometers and 16 kilometers high. Every 100 year, Tevata comes with a fine cloth, wipe the mountain once, and the time that need to wipe the whole mountain down to the ground, that time is asankhaya, one asankhaya. So one asankhaya is very, very long time comparing to our time frame. 20, 40, and 80 asankhaya. That's why it's very long. And the Dhamma that Samma Sampodhi teach us is very profound, because the time to develop those knowledge is very long comparing to the science and all knowledge that we know today, apart from Samma Sambuddha knowledge. These knowledge only need around 30,000 years for accumulation, and what technology we have today based on our knowledge back around 30 to 40,000 years only, not even close to one asankhaya. And Dhamma,
พี่กันcan the child น้องทีแล้วกันเนาะน้องที can you know that which Tikka is in our era for this Samma Sambuddha, which type of Paramattha for our era? น้องที can you know answer?
Sattadika.
Huh?
Sattadika.
Eight. No, try again.
Yes.
Try again. Try
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Oh, I try again.
This one you should,
Try again. Try again.
be correct
Only
answer.
Only one that we left.
Panitika.
Panyatika,
ปัญ
Satu.
ญานะคะ ปัญญาธิกะ
We are in Panyatika era, so this era needs the shortest time for enlightenment which is 20 asankhaya and 100,000 mahakappa. That's why in Dhamma in this era is hard to find, very, very, very hard, because Panyatika, people that born in Panyatika, we are so different. That's why only selected people with proper basis, they can follow the Buddha's teaching. Apart from that, they cannot understand the teaching of Buddha's teaching at all, because the teaching of Gautama Buddha is very, very profound and very kampira. Next. For Dhamma that in Panyatika, in this era, there are consisting of 84,000 Dhammakantaka. And Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka, consisting of Vinaya 21,000 Dhammakantaka and Dhamma 63,000 Dhammakantaka during the period of the living of Gautama Buddha. And once Gautama Buddha entered Parinibbana, Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka, especially Dhamma 63,000 Dhammakantaka, divided into two groups. The first one is Suttanta Pariyati Tipitaka, 21,000 Dhammakantaka. And the second group is Abhidhamma Pariyati Pitaka, 42,000 Dhammakantaka. And then Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka classified into 3 groups as we know today. We call it Tipitaka. The first one is Vinaya Tipitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, 21,000 Dhammakantaka. The second one is Pariyat Suttanta, 21,000 Dhammakantaka. And the last one is Abhidhamma, 42,000 Dhammakantaka. And for Abhidhamma that we mostly spending our time studying, or Sikkha, is divided into 2 groups. The first one is Paramatta Dhamma and the second one is Panyati Dhamma. For Paramatta Dhamma consisting of Citta 121, Cetasika 52 and Rupa 28 and also Nibbana 1. And Pariyati Dhamma, Panyati Dhamma divided into 2 groups. The first one is Attha Panyati and the second one is Sattha Panyati. Mostly the time we spend, that's why we ask you all to recite Citta, Cetasika and Rupa. Then we can explain you about what Anuttara Samma Sambuddha said about Paramatta Dhamma, and then you can understand Abhidhamma 42,000 Dhammakantaka. Once you understand Abhidhamma 42,000 Dhammakantaka, you can explain what happened in Suttanta 21,000 Dhammakantaka and also Vinaya 21,000 Dhammakantaka. That's how we begin our Sikkha and understand the teaching of Gautama Buddha 84,000 Dhammakantaka. Okay, so 2 essential steps for Sikkha, as we mentioned it to you before. There is 2 steps. The first one is to recite Citta 121, Cetasika 52 and Rupa 28. The second one is to be able to differentiate communication language and Dhamma language. This is 2 essential steps for Sikkha. So Citta 121, you all have already familiar with this one, and Cetasika 52 and Rupa 28. And to differentiate communication language and Dhamma language. For communication language, each country, you have your own communication language. That communication language need to translate to Makatha language, the language that used during the Buddhas was alive. So from Makatha language is redefined by the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha, then we enter Dhamma language. We need the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha, but if we only translate Makatha language to communication language, that is no involvement of Gautama Buddha. That's only people during Buddhas was living using Makatha language. Those belongs to people, and then they translate by dictionary. That's also people translate from one communication language to another communication language that involve only people, do not have any involvement of Gautama Buddha. But to enter the teaching of Gautama Buddha, you must translate from your communication language back to Makatha language first, and then from Makatha language, you have to look at that Makatha language, what Gautama Buddha was redefined by the enlightenment, and then enter Dhamma language. For example, like greed in English, you need to translate to Makatha language first before going into Dhamma language. Greed to translate back into Makatha language. Makatha language for greed is lopha. And then from lopha, referring to the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha, lopha at the beginning means lopha mula citta 8. That's the first step to enter Dhamma language. Now you know that lopha is not a greed, but lopha is lopha mula citta 8. This is for example. So now we go to our today's topic. How does our calendar work before we understand what is the date that really the new year for Buddhism. Okay, there are three types of calendar, three main types. The first one is based on moon phases, called lunar calendar. And the second one is called solar calendar, which based solely on the sun. And the last one is combine the sun and the moon. We call it lunisolar calendar. Okay. Gregorian calendar, which is the international one that we're familiar with. The common year is 365 days divided into 12 months. Okay, this is the calendar that we use widely international today. So the second one is lunar calendar. As I mentioned, is based on the moon phase. Actually, 1 year of lunar calendar is 354 days, 8 hours, 48 minutes, and 34 seconds, a bit shorter, around 11 to 12 days shorter than solar years or international one. So actually, Buddha's calendar is based on lunar. That's why it's different from international one, which is based on solar calendar. And for lunisolar calendar, actually, as I mentioned, that solar calendar is 365 days a year, and lunar calendar is a bit shorter. So for intercalculation between these two calendars is a bit complicated. So they create another one called lunisolar calendar. Lunisolar calendar is calendars that combining lunar calendar and solar calendar together. The date of lunisolar calendar indicates both moon phase and solar years. So it's combined for easily intercalculation between two type of calendar. The next one. Now we go back to our communication language and Dhamma language. With the same concept, we need to translate our communication language or communication our daily practice into the practice during Makatha era. So we translate our solar-based calendar back to lunar-based calendar, which is widely used at that time in Makatha era. So at that time, when Gautama Buddha was alive, they used lunar-based calendar. That's why we need to translate our calendar base, which today is solar-based calendar, back to lunar-based calendar. And then with lunar-based calendar, we use this one to Sikkha Dhamma and enter Dhamma language. Okay. So for the name of the month, for solar-based calendar, we call January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, which are very familiar to us, and we use them today. Actually, lunar month is called differently from our month, our Gregorian month. Translate to this, we need to translate the Gregorian month or solar-based calendar month back into lunar-based calendar. For example, like Makha Sira Masasa, Pusa Masasa, Makha Masasa, Hakuna Masasa, Chitta Masasa, Visakha Masasa, Shethatha Masasa, Asalaha Masasa, Sawana Masasa, Patha Masasa, Asayusha Masasa, Katika Masasa, for example, like this. And then from lunar months, we use Makatha language is redefined by the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha and enter Dhamma language. So we need to translate from Gregorian month that we are familiar with back to lunar month and enter Dhamma language. The next one. For lunar year and solar year, as I mentioned before, that for solar years you need 365 days, and lunar year roughly around 354 days, a bit shorter than solar years, 11 to 12 days shorter. So the month that I mentioned, 12, those 12 months is not exactly in line with Gregorian calendar. For lunar calendar, for Makasira Masasa, the first month, translate to Gregorian calendar is in November to December. And Pusamasasa, the second month, lies in December to January. So at this time we are in Pusamasasa month. If you are using lunar calendar, and Makhamasasa for the third month of lunar calendar lies in January to February. The fourth month for lunar calendar Pakuna Masasa is around February to March. And fifth month lunar calendar called Jitta Masa in March to April. Sixth month is April to May in Gregorian calendar, and seventh month Chesatha Masasa in lunar calendar is May to June in Gregorian calendar. And the eighth month, which is Asalaha Masasa in lunar calendar, is June to July in Gregorian calendar. And the ninth month in lunar calendar we call Savana Masasa, is July to August in Gregorian calendar. And the 10th month in lunar calendar we call Patha Masasa, is August to September in Gregorian calendar. In 11th month in lunar calendar we call Asayusha Masasa, is around September to October in Gregorian calendar. And the last one, the 12th month of lunar calendar we call Katika Masasa, is around October to November in Gregorian calendar.
Sikkha, from this slide, I think lunar calendar is separate by like the event of the Buddha era that create the ceremony, not ceremony, no, but the event occur.
Yes, the name of the months, we are familiar with a lot of words in Buddhism that we Sikkha today. For example, like Visakha, Chitta, Makha, Hatsa, Asalaha. For example, like this. So
it seems like the like Visakha Masasa is the time that Buddha enlightenment, Buddha born, Buddha Parinibbana at that time. So it is the same day, and that month we call Visakha Masasa.
Yes, that's true. That's correct. So that's why by to seeing what hidden inside, that's why we need to translate our calendar back to the calendar that they used during the period that Buddha was living. So that's why we need to translate our solar-based calendar back to lunar-based calendar that is widely used that day.
So if we use a Gregorian calendar, we will not know that for the Sutanta at that time, at that month, what is occur. So if we go back to lunar calendar, we can know a little bit. No, at least we can get to start from start from the month.
Yes, if we want to, for example, like what we do today, we want to celebrate something that happened, very important, that happened during the time that Buddha was living, and those time mentioned in lunar calendar. So we need to go back, need to translate our solar-based calendar back to lunar calendar to know what was the day that things that happened. So as we've been mentioned, that by the birth of Gautama Buddha is on Visakha month, and if you don't know that what month of Visakha is, then you don't know what what day is that day, what day was that day. So for if we compare from this table, you can comparing that Visakha Masasa or Visakha month, or the 6th month of lunar calendar is around April to May in Gregorian calendar. This is roughly calculation between these two type of calendar. So at least you know that whenever you want to celebrate the Visakha Buddha, or the day that Buddha's was birth, enlightenment, and Parinibbana, and the day is in Visakha Masasa or Visakha month. It happened during April to May in Gregorian calendar. So at least you know when to celebrate.
But normally in the real people, the real world, we forgot all of this. We can remember only Chinese New Year or Christian New Year, and we remember only Christmas. So
Yes.
we should go back to lunar calendar in order to remember what is Sutanta.
Correct. And to
Yep.
Sikkha Dhamma, that's why we need to go back to lunar calendar. We can use Gregorian calendar because it's this one used internationally. We live in the world, so we live in this society, so we can use them. But at least we know that there is another type of calendar we use when we Sikkha Dhamma, which is lunar-based calendar. And the month of lunar-based calendar comparing Gregorian calendar is for roughly translation is as simple as this table.
Okay, Satu ka.
The next one. Now we know the basis of 3 main type of calendars. Now, when is a new year? Count for each calendar. A year is fairly straightforward. Is the time that the Earth complete the orbit around the sun. That's called a year. So solar-based calendar is 365 days, and for lunar-based calendar is 354 days approximately. Okay. And for Gregorian calendar, the New Year's Day is a festival on January 1st. Is the first year of modern Gregorian calendar. And the first January the 1st actually is based on the birth of Jesus. So actually the Gregorian calendar is the Christian one, the Christian calendar. It's the 1st of January is the birth of Jesus. So this is the new year, the reasons behind the new year that we celebrate internationally today. For the second one, for the Buddhist era is the Buddhist era, the New Year's of Buddhist era is the birth, the enlightenment, and the Parinibbana of Gautama Buddha, which is the same day. Okay, it's for easy and for the beginners to understand. For simplified it the New Year's of Buddhist era is the birth, the enlightenment, and the Parinibbana of Buddhist the Gautama Buddha. And the Buddhist era is 343 years ahead of Gregorian calendar, or Buddhist the Gautama Buddha birth 543 years before Jesus Christ. And for Puttachayanti, for Buddhism, we count our calendar into types. The first one we call it Puttachayanti. Puttachayanti, we count it from the day that Gautama Buddha enlightenment. So, okay, and the second one, actually, there is another type of Buddhism calendar. We call it Buddha Parinibbana, and that we counted from the day that Gautama Buddha entered Parinibbana. So, New Year's or Buddha Jayanti or Buddha Mahaparinibbana is Visakha Day in May in Gregorian calendar. And for Buddha Jayanti or Maha Buddha Parinibbana, the New Year's Day is the same day, because the day that Buddha's born enlightenment and enter Parinibbana is the same day, but only the first year count is different. For Buddha Jayanti, we start to count the first year from the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha. And Buddha Parinibbana, we count the first year from the year that Buddha entered Parinibbana. So
Indeed, can you answer how different from Buddha Jayanti and Buddha Parinibbana? How many years different? Indeed.
This is quite challenge answer, because I haven't mentioned about it yet.
Yeah.
Lỗi hả bà?
ไม่ใช่
543 years. That is 543. That is number of the birth of Gautama Buddha before Jesus. But now, Pippin's answer, Pippin's questions is how many years different between Buddha Jayanti and Buddha Parinibbana?
Are you writing on my page? Please let it go and chop.
The clue, give the clue. The year start from birth to enlightenment year. How many years start from Buddha birth and Buddha enlightenment?
35 years. When 35 years.
Mama have answer.
Your mom has the correct answer.
Yeah. Yes.
45. 45 years.
Because at that time, no, Paramattha have enlightenment after he has 35 years old, no.
And
Okay,
the year difference between Buddha Jayanti and Buddha Mahaparinibbana is 45 years.
It's 45, not 35.
45 years.
45.
Because those 45 years are the years that Gautama Buddha spending teaching about
teaching
Buddha Savaka during that period.
Because Buddha Paramattha have 80 years alive, no? 80 years alive, and then he enlightenment at 35 years, and he parinibbans at 80. So it's different is 45 years.
So okay, so that's why we need to translate our traditional year count and new year back to Buddhist related year count and new year. We need to translate our Gregorian calendar, which we use internationally, back to Buddhist related year count and new year, such as Buddha Jayanti or Buddha Parinibbana. And Buddha Jayanti and Buddha Parinibbana are Buddhist related year count and New Year. But the New Year of Buddha Jayanti and Buddha Parinibbana is the same day, because the day that Gautama Buddha enlightenment and the day that Gautama Buddha entered Parinibbana is the same day. So the New Year is the day that Gautama Buddha born enlightenment and enter Parinibbana, which is on Visakha day. Okay, and from this Visakha day, from year count in Buddhist related, then we use this calendar to Sikkha Dhamma. Okay. Now, until now, we mentioned about the calendar, and the type of calendar is based on either sun or moon. And now we are going to Sikkha about how was the sun and the moon created. Okay. Let's start from Citta 121. This one you has already familiar with it. Citta 121. And only 29 out of 121 called Kamma Citta. And those Kamma Citta consisting of Akusala Citta 12, Kama Vajra Mahakusala Citta 8, Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta 5, and Arupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta 4. Why we have to go back to Kamma Citta first? Because whenever we are going to born in each bhumi, first Citta must create your body, your mind, your environment, your food for you before you're going to born in that bhumi. And Citta that responsible for creating your body, your mind, your environment, your food are called Kamma Citta 29. That's why we need to start from Kamma Citta 29. We need to know them, what 29 are. And they are Akusala Citta 12, Kama Vajra Mahakusala Citta 8, Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta 5, Arupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta 4. And from this Kamma Citta 29, they sent information to Patisanti Pawankha Juti Citta 19 to lead you to born in each bhumi. So first, your body, your mind, your environment, your food must be designed before you're going to born in each bhumi. And by design your body, your mind, your environment, and your food, those three main topics are designed by Kamma Citta 29. After design complete, those Kamma Citta 29 sent information to Patisanti Pawankha Juti Citta 19 to lead you to born in each bhumi. For Akusala Citta 12, they sent information to one of Akusala Vipaka Citta 7, which is Upekha Sahakatang Santirana Cittang Asankharikang Kama Vajra Akusala Vipaka Cittang. And for Kama Vajra Maha Kusala Citta 8, this one sent information to two destination, to two group of citta, depends on the intent of your kusala. If your kusala is not exactly what the Buddha's teaching, it's it will be sent to ahetuka, one of ahetuka kusala vipaka citta 8, which is called upekha sahakatang santirana cittang asankharikang kama vajra ahetuka kusala vipaka cittang. And if your kusala are completely correct with the teaching of Gautama Buddha, then it will be sent to Kama Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 8. And for Rupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta 5, which is which in Kamma Citta 29. It will send to Rupa Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 5, and for Arupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta 4 is sent to Arupa Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 4. And from Patisanti Pavanka and Juti Citta 19, these 19 Citta will lead you to born in 31 Bhumi. For upekha sakatang santirana cittang asankharikang kama vajra akusala vipaka cittang will send you to abaya bhumi 4. For upekha sakatang santirana cittang asankharikang kama vajra ahetuka kusala vipaka cittang will send you to manusa bhumi 1, teva bhumi 1, only jatu maharashika bhumi. And for Kama Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 8, this one sent you to Teva Bhumi 5, except Jatu Maharashika Bhumi. And for Rupa Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 5, it sent you to Brahma Bhumi 16. And for Arupa Vajra Mahavipaka Citta 4, it sent you to Arupa Vajra, Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4. Okay. This all together 31 Bhumi.
มี16ในรูปวัชรมหาวิปากจิตตัง5ยังไงครับ
which one ครับ Indy
ในรูปวัชรมหาวิปากจิตตัง5มันมี
sent to 16 Bhumi. Yes, because in each in Prathama Chana, Tutiya Chana, Tadiya Chana, Chatutha Chana, and Panchama Chana, consisting of these 5, each Chana level sent to multiple level of Brahma Bhumi. It's not one to one; it's one to many. For example, it's like upekha santirana akusala vipaka citta, only one citta, but sent to abaya bhumi 4. It's the same one. The same.
Indy would like Indy, would you like to know the details of 16?
ได้ครับ
อ๋อใช่ครับ so ด้วยกันช่วยกันfor the Parisat okay 16 we will send you the details Parisat Cha Parohita Mahapramma Paritapa ใช่ไหมอัปปมานาอภัสรา ปริตตสุภา อัปปมาณสุภา ใช่ไหมจ๊ะสุภกินนะสุภกินนะหกา เวหัพพลาที่10 and อสัญญาสัตตาพรหมright another six is อวิหาอัตตปา สุทัสสา สุทัสสีอากานิทกา okay this is 16 ค่ะ okay so we can give you the details of that and in each level they have the details of citta that link and it's quite complicated probably in the next time okay some Dhammacharya will give you more details but this is in detail with 16 I think I'm right I think I'm thank you สาธุค่ะ
because the detail of of Citta that working in Lupa Vajra Mahakusala Citta is not the same level. It's not the same Mahakusala. Like Patoma Chana, Tutiya Chana, Tatiya Chana, Jatuta Chana, and Panchama Chana is not the same level that working. So the Bhumi that created is not the same level too.
Yes.
Okay.
Satu King. So for big picture indeed, this one is is not one to one. It's one to many. One Citta can send to multiple Bhumi. For Dhamma Bhumi 16, it divided into level of Chana that you achieve. The level of Chana that you can achieve is divided into five level of Chana. The first called Patoma Chana, and the second one is called Tutiya Chana. The third one is Tatiya Chana. The fourth one is Jatuta Chana, and the fifth one we call it Panchama. And from these 5 level of Chana can go to Brahma Bhumi, but in each Chana will be divided into multiple level of Bhumi. And however, altogether 5 level of Chana altogether in 16 Brahma Bhumi. And for Arupa Brahma Bhumi is not exactly one-to-one the same, but we will explain in details for you in the future. Okay, from this one, you can see the relationship between Kamma Citta, Bhavankha Citta, Patisanthi Bhavankha Jutti Citta, and 31 Bhumi. Before you going into each Bhumi, your body, your mind, your environment, your food must be designed, completely designed first. And those designs are done by Kamma Citta 29. And once the design is complete, those designs are sent to Patisanthi Bhavankha Jutti Citta 19 to lead you to born in each designated Bhumi, in 31 Bhumi as mentioned here. In each group of Patisanthi Bhavankha Jutti Citta leads to specific Bhumi. So now Kamma Citta 19 cause Patisanthi Bhavankha Jutti Citta 19. Kamma Citta 29 cause Patisanthi Bhavankha Jutti Citta 19 and create 31 Bhumi. As we mentioned, this one is a big picture. Your design, your body, your mind, your environment, and your food are designed at this level. And once the design is complete, it's sent to this level, then to Patisanthi Bhavankha Jutti Citta 19 to create 31 Bhumi as designed for you. Okay. And when we were born in each Bhumi or each realm, they must provide, as I mentioned, Kamma Citta has already designed it for you. Your body, your mind, your environment, and your food. And this can be simplified that these 4 groups of things that need to be created for you in each Bhumi, created from the work of Citta with Sikkha. And the result of Citta interact with Sikkha is Rupa. And these are your body, your mind, your environment, your food, those are Rupa, result of the Rupa. And now we go back to our calendar concept. The calendar is based on either sun or moon. And the sun and the moon is classified into your environment. Your environment are called Uttucharupa 13. Your body called Kamashrupa 18, your mind called Chittashrupa 15, your environment, including sun and moon, called Uttushrupa 13, and your food called Aharashrupa 12. And this is how sun and moon, and not only sun and moon, but our all environment are created. Those things are created under Uttushrupa 13. So, and the sun and the moon and even the earth created by Uttushrupa 13. And our body, Kamashrupa 18, Chittashrupa, or our mind, is Chittashrupa 15, and our food, Uttushrupa 12. Oh, sorry, Aharashrupa 12, and our environment is Uttushrupa 13. Now I mentioned about number of 18, 15, 13, and 12. What are they? We call these four groups altogether Kamashrupa 18, Chittashrupa 15, Uttushrupa 13, and Aharashrupa 12. Altogether, we call Rupa Samuttatthana. And start from Kamashrupa 18. Kamashrupa 18 consisting of the first 9 of Kamashrupa 18, Chittashrupa 15, Uttushrupa 13, and Aharashrupa 12 are the same. So we can recite it all together, the first 9. The first 9 consisting of the first group we call Avinipokarupa 8, or the basis, building blocks of everything in this universe. And also another component is Parishetarupa 1. So in case you can recite Vinipokarupa 8, which are under Rupa 28, but regroup, you can recite Vinipokarupa 8 easily. Vinipokarupa 8 consisting of Pattavi Mahaputarupa 1, Apo Mahaputarupa 1, Tesho Mahaputarupa 1, Vayo Mahaputarupa 1. Or the first 4 is Mahaputarupa 4. And then the next one is Rupa Visaya Rupa, Kanta Visaya Rupa, and Rasa Visaya Rupa. You can see that for the following 3, these 3, actually it is Visaya Rupa. However, Visaya Rupa, all together they have 4 components. The first one is Rupa Visaya Rupa, Sattha Visaya Rupa, Kanta Visaya Rupa, and Sattha Visaya Rupa. For Visaya Rupa that classified as Vinipokarupa, it will exclude Sattha Visaya Rupa from the group. So, and the last one is Ahara Rupa. Altogether, these 8, Vinipokarupa 8 is the basic building blocks of everything. So it consisting of Pattavi Mahaputarupa, Apo Mahaputarupa, Tesho Mahaputarupa, Vayo Mahaputarupa, Rupa Visaya Rupa, Kanta Visaya Rupa, Rasa Visaya Rupa, and Ahara Rupa. This first 8, and following with Parishetarupa. Parishetarupa, like space that divided things. And for Kamashrupa, they have special 9 that only existing in Kamashrupa and not appears in Chittashrupa, Uttushrupa, and Aharashrupa. These 9 are Parasatarupa 5, Pavarupa 2, Hatayurupa 1, and Chittashrupa 1. Once they exist only in Kamashrupa 18 and not in Chittashrupa 15, Uttushrupa 13, and Aharashrupa 12, then we call it genuine Kamashrupa, only existing in Kamashrupa 18. And for Chittashrupa 15, apart from the first 9 that common with others, the difference is Chitta Rupa has Vinyati Rupa 2, Sattva Rupa 1, and Vikara Rupa 3. And for Ahara Rupa 13, apart from the first 9, they have Sattva Rupa 1, Vikara Rupa 3. And for Ahara Rupa 12, apart from the first common 9, then this one have Vinyati Rupa 3. So by simplifying, explain to you that before we going to born in each bhumi, Kamma Citta need to create our body, our mind, our environment, our food for us, and those body, those mind, environment, and food are called Kamma Shrupa, Citta Shrupa, Uttu Shrupa, and Ahara Shrupa. And the basis component of Kamma Shrupa, Citta Shrupa, Uttu Shrupa, Ahara Shrupa, consisting of Rupa. For Kamma Shrupa, consisting of Rupa 18. For Citta Shrupa, consisting of Rupa 15. And Uttu Shrupa, consisting of Rupa 13. And Ahara Shrupa, consisting of Rupa 12. And and in the future, you must be able to recite what are 18, 15, 13, and 12 to further understand the creation of everything in this universe. We will explain more in details about these components in the future. But today, we would like you to familiar with these words that before you going to born this in each bhumi, Kammajit must provide your body, your mind, your environment, your food for you. And these 4 altogether we call Rupa Samutthana, consisting of Kamma Shrupa 18, Citta Shrupa 15, Uttu Shrupa 13, and Ahara Shrupa 12. And back to our calendar today. Our calendar is based on sun or moon, and the sun and moon are created under Uttu Shrupa 13. So this is what happened to our calendar. So in the class today, we mentioned the emergence of Samma Sambuddhi, or 3 types of Buddha, which are Panyatika, Satthatika, and Viryatika. And the second topic that we discuss is how does our calendar work? There are 3 main types. The first one is solar calendar and lunar calendar and lunisolar calendar, which combine sun and moon calendar together. And the third one, when is the new year count? For the solar calendar or Gregorian calendar that we widely use today, the new year count is on the day that the birth of Jesus. And for lunar calendar or Buddhist related calendar, we, for example, like Buddha Shianti or Buddha Mahaparinibbana, the new year count is on the day of the birth of Gautama Buddha, the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha, and the Parinibbana of Gautama Buddha, which are the same day on Visakha day. Is the new year for Buddhist related calendar. And the 4th topic that we discuss is how does the sun and the moon created? These sun and the moon are created under Uttu Shrupa, under one of the 4 group of Rupa Samutthana, as we mentioned in the last topic. And until now, so what day is today? Today, sorry, it's not, no, I must bring, I'm sorry. I think I picked the wrong slide actually. One moment. So until now, what day is today? One moment. Okay, this one. Moment. Okay, this one. Okay. One moment. Okay. This one. So what day is today? Today is January 2nd, 22nd, 2023 for Gregorian calendar. And for Buddhist related calendar or either Buddha Jayanti or Buddha Parinibbana, for Buddha Jayanti, today is the 5th Kala Pakhatsa Putsa Masasa Buddha Jayanti 26,011, and or the 5th of Kala Pakhatsa Putsa Masasa Buddha Parinibbana 2,565 or 2565. The New Year's of Buddha Jayanti and Buddha Parinibbana is on Visakha Day, which is the day of the birth, enlightenment, and Parinibbana of Gautama Buddha. So, do you have any questions? There will be end of the class today.
Yeah, just want to confirm today is 1st of Kalapakasa, right?
Yes เป็น the first Sukha Pakha Masasa of Makha Masasa.
So it's not the 5th, it's the 1st of Kala.
Yes.
ค่ะ
Sukha
น้องกัน
Masasa. The first. The slide is maybe wrong a little bit.
Today?
Uh,
One
The
moment.
first Sukha Ma
No,
Pakha
Kala.
Masasa.
สุข
Sorry.
วันนี้
sorry.
วันนี้เริ่มต้น
Buddha Masasa. Yes, correct, correct.
ใช่ครับน้องกัน
Okay. First Sukha.
สุขปักขัสสะมาคะมาสัสสะ
Yes, that's today. Sorry.
นมัสการนายเยค่ะสาธุค่ะ
สาธุค่ะ
Satu Anumodana.
อ่า
นมัสการเยค่ะ
นมัสการนายเยค่ะ
นมัสการเย
นมัสการนายเยนมัสการนายเย
เด็กๆอาทิตย์หน้าป้าเปิ้ลสอนนะเข้าคลาส
สาธุครับป้าเปิ้ลครับ
โอ้เยี่ยมเลยป้า
ยัง
เปิ้
ไม่
ล
เล่นเลยนะ
สาธุป้าเปิ้ลครับเจอกัน
สาธุค่ะ
ป้าเปิ้ลจะสอนง่ายมากเลยนะป้าเปิ้ลจะสอนแบบง่ายๆเลยนะ